I wasn't really convinced that The Black Phone really needed a sequel. The original film told a complete story, and I wasn't really sure how Scott Derickson was going to be able to expand on that without weakening what already came before. But somehow, he found a way to not only make it work, but make it feel necessary. What's up everybody, I'm Keelan, and today we're going to be discussing Black Phone 2, the sequel to the 2022 original, The Black Phone. Now before I begin, I just want to give out a fair warning. I am going to be talking about some spoilers, so if you don't want anything revealed to you, I suggest maybe clicking out this video for now, coming back to it once you see the film.
You've been warned.
Black Phone 2 builds upon everything in the original film in a natural and meaningful way. Instead of trying to top the scares, Derickson focuses on deepening the story, exploring trauma, guilt, and this idea that the past never really stays buried. So this time around, Finney and Gwen Blake essentially swap roles. Finney has become tougher, more hardened by what he went through, while Gwen takes the lead in a story that revolves around her connection to the grabber through her dreams. So there's a clear A Nightmare on Elm Street influence in the way that this sequel uses dreams as a bridge between life and death. The grabber returns, not in a physical sense, at least at first, but through Gwen's dreams. And I think it's a really clever way to bring the grabber back, while also adding a new layer of tension to the story. What makes this approach so effective is the fact that it never really feels forced. It honors what happened in the first film while expanding on the supernatural elements that were only really hinted at before. One of the strongest aspects of The Black Phone 2 is how it explores the Blake family. Finney has grown into somebody who's clearly been changed and affected by their experiences. Gwen kind of remains the same, staying brave and outspoken, while also maturing in her own right. Then there's their father, who was broken and abusive in the first film, but in this one he's sober and he's really trying. He's trying to be there for his kids, he's trying to be a good father and do the right thing. And in my opinion, it's pretty rare for horror to really take so much care of their characters. You can really feel the time that's passed and the effort that they make to heal, but it's still pretty obvious that the scars remain. It really gives this film an emotional core that feels earned. There's also a deeper look into their mother's story and the truth behind her death. And that part of the story really ties everything together beautifully, giving an explanation for Gwen's abilities, but also rooting it in tragedy. It really connects their family's history to the supernatural events in a way that feels complete and satisfying. The grabber himself is reimagined through visions and dream sequences, and we also get to learn a little bit more about some of his earlier victims, which of course adds a new depth to the story and the character of the grabber. The way that these past victims appear, haunting and sorrowful, but still helping Gwen, gives the movie an unsettling and emotional tone. It's much less about revenge this time, and a lot more about closure, not just for the dead, but for the living as well. I also really love the grabber's new design, and I think it fits the tone of the film really well. His mask and costume are rougher, colder, and more weathered, reflecting the film's snowy setting. And that environment adds so much atmosphere to this film. There's something so unnerving about horror being set in the wintertime. The silence, the emptiness, the sense that even the air feels lifeless. Visually, Black Phone 2 is very striking. The contrast between reality and the dream world is handled extremely well. The dream sequences are surreal but never over-stylized. Derickson uses practical effects and camera transitions that make the ghostly moments feel immediate. The use of snow, the cold lighting, and the muted color palette all create this world that feels absent of warmth. You can almost feel the chill in every frame. Mason Thames and Madison McGraw return as Finney and Gwen, and they both give phenomenal performances. You can definitely see how much they've grown, not just as characters, but as actors. They bring genuine emotion to their scenes, especially the moments dealing with guilt and grief. Their dynamic still carries that same sibling energy from the first film, but it's definitely evolved. They've been through something unimaginable together, and the way that they play that unspoken bond makes their relationship feel as real as ever. The Black Phone 2 does what most horror sequels fail to. It continues the story without repeating it. It gives us more of what we loved, but through a new emotional lens. It's eerie, tragic, and moving all at the same time. Everything from the expanded lore to the family's development to the visual design of the film feels purposeful. Scott Derickson clearly had something personal to say in this one, and it shows. I honestly was not expecting to get emotional watching The Black Phone 2, but I'll admit it happened. And that's truly a testament to how well made this movie is. I will say there were some parts that maybe felt like it dragged a little bit. I would have appreciated the grabber being in the movie a little bit more, because when he's on screen, that's probably when the movie's at its best. But overall, I really enjoyed what they gave us. I think this is how you continue a story, by respecting what came before and find the heart that made it worth telling again. Thank you so much for watching Kill the Credits. Let me know what you thought of Black Phone 2 in the comments. Don't forget to like, subscribe, and ring that notification bell. As always, be safe, and I'll see you guys in the next video. Do I have to answer?